Good evening, my dear students.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Kana.
Sir, you can start now, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening, my dear students. Once again, you all are warm. Welcome to the wonderful session of the biological classes. Last class, what we have discussed already in our report. Today, we are going to see the remaining portion. Okay. Here, the morula is the next stage. So, during the fertilization, what are the changes which occurs already we discussed. Okay, the last class cleavage we saw it, isn't it? So during this cleavage, what are the cell division which occurs? See here, the zygote is there. After the cleavage, it is also converted into 8 cell stage. Then a blastula and cross section of the blastula, and then a gastrulation and gastrula. These are the changes occur. Okay. So now we are going to discuss the detailed about the morula. So morula is nothing but what is the meaning of morula is a mulberry shape. Note it down. This is very, very important. Mulberry shape. You know the fruits, isn't it? Just like a morula stage, the cell division look like a mulberry shapes. So it is also one of the cleavage, isn't it? As a result of formation, what is that? Solid ball of a 8 to 16 cells called morula. During the cell division, zygote divided into 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16. That stage is called as what is that? Morula. Okay, here what happened, see here, the zona pellucida still form the outer cover. The morula is covered by a layer. Cover is called as zona pellucida. The morula undergoes the compaction. Okay, what happened further? See the outer peripheral cell are smaller, flat, with a tight junction, while the inner cell mass consists of a slightly large rounded cells with a gap junctions. Here, what you are thinking, so outside the cell, always what happened, there is a space is there. See here, or a tight is there. Which one is correct here? Tightly bound. See a smaller flat with the tight junctions. Inside tight is there. The outermost cells always, how it will be? There is a gap. See that? Slightly larger rounded cells with the gap junction here. Okay. Morula descends slowly towards uterus. Descends means what happened? It can be a pass on through the uterine fallopian tubes, isn't it? Until the reach of uterus. How many days it will take? See here, 4 to 6 days, and the corona radiata detached during this period. This is very, very important. Which period? The morula is connected with the, joined with the, which one, endometrium, like that. Okay. Otherwise called as uterus. Uterus wall is called as endometrium, isn't it? Inside the part. Myometrium. And also the outermost also is there. So uterus, how many days? 4 to 6 days. And corona radiata detached. After the detachment, what happened during this period? Corona radiata detaches, takes place. You have to know here, what are the points, first one is morula. It is nothing but the mulberry shape. Cleavage, how many cell stage, 8 to 16 cell stage. This is also very, very important. Which is covered the morula, the zona pellucida. That is very, very important. But there are two layers there, two cells also present in it. One is called as outer cell and inner cell is also there. The outer cell is a tight junction. Okay, it is possessed a tightly bind with the nearest cell or neighbor cells. And also the inner cell mass consists of the slightly larger, because inside there is a multiplication. At the same time, growth phase is also takes place. Inside the cell is large in nature. Outside the cell is small in nature. But what happened, it's a tightly bound. The inner cell is a loosely bound. There is a gap present in it. Okay. Then after the 4 to 6 days, detached from the corona radiata. Okay. This is very, very, very important. See the structures. These are the structure. This is a zygote. After that, division is also takes place. And then for this one, another divisions. And here also divided. Here the another category. These are the original divisions takes place in the computer. Okay, they have chosen. See the another one. The one here. See the 0 minutes. This type. 373 minutes. This much. 442. According to their minutes, they have calculated and also tabulated the list here. Up to the 481, 1605, 2004, 2125, like that. Finally, it will reach us the 3101 minutes. How it will be the graduation, how the division is takes place, like that. They have mentioned here. Just for the example, no need to take the fully. Okay, these are the division. We do not know now. So how it will be divided, how we are grow inside our mother. Okay, likewise, you have to calculate it. Go to the next one. Blastulation. Third part is called as blastulation. The endometrium, after the binding of this one, what happened on the endometrium, the inner wall of the uterus, secrete a nutrient fluids and its mucosal cells become enlarged with the stored nutrients. This is very, very important because the stored nutrients provide what? Morula. Once the morula enter inside, they need some nutritive substances. Then nutritive substances provided by which one? Endometrium. Not only the endometrium secrete a nutrient fluids and its mucosal cell. Mucosal is nothing but the semi-solid substances present in the endometrium cells, isn't it? Okay. So what is the main function of the mucosal cell? They provide nutrients for what? So as a result, what happened? As the morula enter uterus, once enter the morula into the uterus, it gets rich because the mucosals provide nutrients, supply of nutrients. Cells of morula are similar, undergoes a phase of the compaction and generate two types of cells. This is very, very important. Two types of cells already we discussed during the microsporogenesis, the periclinical, anticlinical, like that we studied, isn't it? See here, what happened, two types of cells. What are the types? Yeah, peripheral cells and inner cell mass. The ball may be solid or it may be acquired a cavity within. Cavity means there is a gap, like that. Okay. So likewise, which cell is present in morula? See the structure, you can easily identify it. See that? So this stage, there is a gap, isn't it? That is morula stage. This is the gap. That is the thing. Okay. So note it down. That point is also very, very important. See the next. The peripheral cells forms tropoplasm. Note it down. This is very, very important. Which cell forms tropoplasm? Peripheral cell form tropoplasm, or otherwise called tropoectoderm. Tropoectoderms, which draws food for the embryo from uterine wall. Here all as given, isn't it? So peripheral cells also form tropoplasm. It is otherwise called as tropoectoderms, which draws the food for the embryo from uterine wall. This is only tropic and protective functions and form a fetal membranes, and part of the placenta has no role in the formation of embryo. What is the main function of these tropoectoderms? Means protective function. It is a outermost covering, isn't it? That's why it protects the fetal membrane, and part of the placenta has no role in the formation of embryo. Embryo formation is not done by which one, the tropoplast. See here, the tropoplast cells secrete a fluids into the interior, creating a cavity is called as blastocells. This is very, very important. What is by blastocell? Which cell secreted the blastocell? Sometimes they may ask the question in the form of NEET. Okay. Tropoplast, note it down. This is very, very important. Tropoplast already we discussed here also that. Okay. Otherwise called as tropoectoderm. Okay. It's which secrete the fluid. That fluid name is called as what is that? Blastocell. Okay. See that. Fertilized egg, 2 cell stage, 4 cell stage, 8 cell stage, 16, and also blastocyst. This blastocyst, there is a center cavity is there. This is called as cavity. This cavity is filled with the, which one, the blastocyst. See that the expansion of the blastocyst. This is the structure of blastocyst. See, this is the tropoplast structure. This is the outermost layer. It's cover the, which one, inner side part, inside part. There is a blastocyst is there, and blastocyst central, there is a gap is there, that is called as blastocyst cavity. The blastocyst cavity is also filled with the fluid is called as what is the blastocele. Okay, here inner cell mass, this is called as embryoplast. This is the embryoplast. This is also grow as a embryo within the ovary, which are all occurs in the endometrium, uterus, the female reproductive organ. This is very, very, very important one. Okay, they ask the question. Tropoplast is the outermost covering of the embryo. Okay, inside what happened? There is a cavity. The cavity filled with blastocells. Okay, note it down. This is very, very important. The inner cell mass now come into lie on the one side as an embryonical knob. Inner cell is also mass now comes here. You just see this is also a inner cell, isn't it? It comes from the one polar region. This polar region is called as embryonical axis. Likewise, a embryonical knob. With the formation of blastocells, morula is converted into blastula, which is called as blastocyst. In mammals, because of the different nature of the surface layer and the eccentric inner cell mass, these are the differences. How it will be differentiated from the other mammals? The mammals, because of the different nature of the surface layer only, because the surface layer, and also inner cell mass only. The inner cell mass form a body of the embryo. Already told you. The inner cell is the modification of embryo. So there are two types of cells. There outermost layer also there, and inner cell is also there. The outer cell, what they will do, they only protect the embryo forming cells. Like that, you have to imagine. Inner cell mass forms the body of the embryo. Note it down. This is very, very important. Okay. See the next. See the fertilization, zygote, embryo cell stage, morula stage. See, this is a morula stage. There is no center cavity is there, isn't it? But in this category, the blastocyst, there is a cell is there, outermost cell, also innermost cell is also there. There is a cavity filled with the fluids. At the same time, the one part of the cell is called as innermost cell is formed as a embryo. You got it? Any doubt in this part, Pa? My dears?
No, sir. No doubts.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. Jaswant.
Sir.
No, any doubt in this part?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, go ahead. Good. Okay. See here. And then what will the main significance of a blastocell? Blastocell is nothing but the inner part, inside. The site where ancestral embryo used to lodge nutrient as a yolk, because it is also modified in the form of yolk. Yolk is very, very important. Each and every egg, there is a yolk is there. What is the main functions of the yolk? They provide nutrition for embryo. That is very, very important. Okay. The space used to acquire more and more fluid with increasing a dimension of the embryo. Suppose inside the fluid is increases, what happen automatically? The dimensions of the egg and the embryo also what happen? Expands. Space used to acquire more and more fluid. Suppose there is a space is there. The fluid is inside, what happen? Enter means automatically the embryo dimensions also increases. Okay. This result in the expansion of the outer layer of blastodermic vesicle, also called as blastocyst. Blastocyst otherwise called as, what is that? Blastodermic. It's nothing but the layer. Okay. As a thick layer. As a result, what happen? The layer will be very thick in nature. That is very, very important. Once again, what is the main significance of blastocyst? It is very important for the loss of nutrients. For what? Embryo. Okay. And also the fluid is also increases within this. As a result, the dimensions also increases. Okay. So the outer layer is also simultaneously increase their size. Egg size also increases. That the blastodermic vesicles. So as a result, the layer will be thick in nature. Okay. We'll go to the next one. So this is the another part. See here. So this is the zygote. So this is the egg. Sorry, this one is zygote. After the fertilization, there is a 2 cell division, 4 and morula and blastocyst formation. The blastocyst comes from where? Here to here. See, this is the takes place. These events also takes place in the fallopian tube inside. Okay. Once it reaches the endometrium, this is a part of endometrium. When it adheres on the surface of the endometrium, this is called as implantations. After that, what are the changes which occurs? That things already we discussed, isn't it? Inside there is a fluid is that fluid is called as, what is that? Blastoceles. The outermost layer is also, this layer is also expanded. So the fluid is inside. What happened? Enter means the size of the blastoceles and the size of the, what is that? Blastocyst is increased. That is very, very important. This is the binding. So started from the ovary, elimination of ovary or ovum, egg. So reaches the fallopian tubes. These are the changes occurs. Once it enters, implantations adhere on the surface of the endometrium. Okay, see that. So fertilization occur with the result zygote formation. Cleavage occur in the zygote. Blastomia is formed 8-cell stage. Then morula 16-cell stage. Transformation to blastocyst with a continuous division as it moves to the uterus. Blastomia get arranged in the trophoblast and inner cell mass in the blastocyst. Trophoblast get attached to the endometrium by inner cell mass divided to form the embryo. Already we discussed up to this level. Okay. Blastocyst get embedded in the uterine lining. This is called as implantations. These are all are happen. Already I told you these things, isn't it? According to the diagram, pictorial aspects, isn't it? So that things. See, due to the pressure of growing blastocyst, a slit is produced in zona pellucida through which it squeezes out. Okay, there is a pressure created by the zona pellucida. As a result, what happened? Which one? The squeeze outs. The growing blastocysts come out of this slits. Growing blastocysts come out of the slits. At a time, its blastocysts get broken into 2 parts, which then gives rise to identical twins. Sometimes they may, what happen? It will not reach the 2 sperm at a time, isn't it? Suppose the twins are, how the twins are produced, formed, like that they may ask the question, which part gets broken? Blastocyst. Note it down. Ajay, Agil, and Jaswant. Which part is divided here? Yeah, which one?
Blastocyst.
Yeah, good. Blastocyst gets broken, then only you will get the identical twins, isn't it? Similar in nature. Okay, so this is very, very important. Or monozygotic twin. This is also another type. Monozygotic means single zygote. It gives 2 identical twins. with the breakdown of the blastocyst. This is very, very important. So many times they have asked the questions. Okay. Monozygote twins is a division of blastocyst. Example. Okay. It's breakdown into two half. Okay. This is very, very important. Don't forget these things. Role of zona pellucida. Occasionally the blastocyst implants close to the internal os. Okay, it is closed inside. This is the first role. Zona pellucida prevent the implantation of the blastocyst at an abnormal site. Always the blastocysts adhere on the surface of the endometrium. Okay, but it prevent, which one you know? The zona pellucida prevent the implantation of the blastocyst at an abnormal site. Abnormal site, any part of the body. Endometrium is there. Endometrium. Suppose if it is a implanted in other part, what happened? It will be very difficult. Okay, so it is zona pellucida. It depends upon their zona pellucida activities. That is very, very important. This is also sometimes they may ask the questions. The assessment reasoning questions. They may ask the questions. Okay, it does not expose the sticky and phagocytic cell of the trophoblast till the blastocyst reaches the proper implantation site. This is also another. Does not expose the sticky and phagocytic cell of the trophoblast till the blastocyst reaches the proper implantation. Proper implantation is very, very important site. Suppose it's bind with any other part of the site, what happens? It will be very difficult already. I told you. Okay. The trophoblast cell in contact with the embryonal knob are called cell of Robber. Trophoblast cell in contact with the embryonical knob. Embryonical knob you already know present inside the cell, isn't it? Inner cell. Okay, or called the cell of Robber. Robber means what is that? It is also what is that? Trap the cells. See that. Area of embryonical knob represent animal pool, where there is a place in our human body. Human body is there. There is a egg is there. That egg inside there is a pole is there. That pole there is a embryonical knob is also. That is also modification of inner cell, isn't it? Which place, which area is present the embryonical knob? That embryonical knob is called as animal pole. The opposite is called as what is that? Epi-embryonal pole. Sorry, ampi. Okay, so here I will tell you next time this one. Epi-embryonal pole. Some embryonical knob shows a rearrangement to form a embryonical disc. This is also another part. Cell of the trophoblast layer are divided periclinically. Cell of the trophoblast layer are divided periclinically. What is periclinic? Outermost division. Already you know, maybe grow on the outermost, outer side, inner to outer division. Already you know very well, periclinically. Okay. Okay. What are the next slides? Then this gives rise to the two layer. After when the periclinical division takes place, as a result, there are two layer formation takes place. What are the two layer? Note it down. This is very, very important. The outer multinucleated zone. Without distinct cell boundaries, the syncytiotropoblast. Syncytiotropoblast or syncytium. Syncytium is a multinucleated zone. Syncytium is a outer layer or zone. Without distinct cell boundaries, we cannot be able to differentiate cell boundaries. And another layer is called as inner layer or mononucleated. Here the multinucleated, here the mononucleated cell, cytotropoblast. Cytotropoblast. Here syncytotropoblast. What is meant by syncytic? Syncytic is nothing but what is that? Multinucleated. Okay. And coenocytic already we studied in the lower classes. More than one nucleus present the single cell, it is called as multinucleated, otherwise called as coenocytic nature in fungi and algae, isn't it? Likewise, animal cells also syncytiotropic blast or syncytium is a multinucleated boundary present in it. And another one is called as mononucleated, that is called a cytotrophoplast is there. The two-layer later forms chorion, amnion, and fetal part of the placenta. Which part is converted into some other form, a chorion, okay, an amnion, and the fetal part of the placenta. It is nothing but the umbilical united between the mother as well as the fetus. Okay, got it? Okay. Then see here. So these are the stages. These are the stages according to the cells to month aspects. Okay. So the fertilization of the egg. This is the first day, 1.5 days. And then 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and blastocyst. And 1 month, what happened completed the development of the fetus. 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months. 9 months is complete development of the baby. It's stages of the developments. Okay, from the single zygote to fertilized egg to the entire multinucleated, multicellular infant or baby. Okay, these are the changes. And then implantation. It is an embedding of the blastocyst into the endometrium of the uterus. Already we discussed. After 1 week of fertilization, blastocyst gets implanted in the uterine wall. This is the implantation. When you are going to test your baby, isn't it? That time what they are doing, the donor of the egg as well as the sperm were collected from the different parent or same parent likewise. After that, it may be united or fertilization takes place in vitro within the lab. After that, what happened, the cell division takes place already, about 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to, 4 to 8, 8 to 32. After the formation of 32 still stage, they can be implanted in the uterine wall of the female reproductive. That things is also happened. This is automatically happened. That was artificially they are doing in the lab. Okay. Blastocysts come in contact with the endometrium in the region of the embryonic disc, already we discussed, and adheres to it. Okay, automatically embryonic axis is also there that directly bind with the endometrium wall. The surface cell of the trophoblast secrete a lytic enzyme. This is very, very important. When it attaches to the endometrium, what happens? The trophoblast cells secrete the lytic enzyme, which cause corrosion of the endometrial lining. Then only the umbilical formation takes place within this. How it will be connected with the egg as well as the mother endometrium, isn't it? There is a gap, is there? No, that gap is fulfilled. How? After the attachment, the layer, which layer? That is called as, what is the trophoblast secrete the lytic enzyme. The lytic enzyme automatically what happens? No, it may be divides, it may be corrode. Sorry, erode or corrosion is takes place. As a result, implantation is fixed properly. That is very, very important. Okay, go to the next one. They also gives rise to the finger-like projection outgrowth is called as villi. Villi help in the attachment to the uterine endometrium and the absorption of the nutrients. These are the main important function done by villi. Note it down. So after the adherment, what happened? Secretion of lytic enzyme. That lytic enzyme secrete and also erode. As a result, what happened? The finger-like outgrowths produced. This is called as villi. What is the main functions of the villi? Villi helps in the attachment to the uterine endometrium and the absorption of the nutrients. Then only the embryo will grow. Okay, the next one. See, these are the 6. This is called as blastocyst. This is the uterine wall, the cytotrophoblast, syncytotrophoblast, placenta villi. The maternal blood is also this is the part. See, this is a finger-like projection. Okay, it may be expanded when the growing stage. Then only the nutrition will be absorbed from the endometrium and supplied through this way and finally reaches the which one? Infants. So this is a blastocyst. This one is also the time what happened, see here the lower O2 level when the 0 week during the pregnancy time, the oxygen level is also very low in nature. When it increases days or month or whatever it may be, the high oxygen is also essential, because here how many organism is there? Mother as well as the fetus also there. So they need more oxygen. That's why the higher oxygen content. That's why they have given as a red color parameter. In this blue color parameter. Blue color parameter is denoted as a less oxygen, is lower oxygen this time. After that, higher oxygen also very, very important. That is a very things. Okay. So this is also another thing. See that catching, opposition, adhesion, inversion. This is the portion, inversion. Endometrium, epithelial cell, it's also inverted. See here, next one. So these are the stages already we discussed. From ovulation to implantations. Okay. And then this is the implantation. See here, the egg. This is the endometrium layer. This is the endometrium. Okay. So the inner side, the embryonical axis is there. Embryonical axis is there. Okay. The embryonical axis, what they are doing, already you know about. It binds on the surface of the wall, isn't it? After that, what happened? So implantation is also done. Okay. So then the embryonal axis also united with this layer. So here what happened, there is a hydrolytic enzyme is also secreted. So here the finger-like projection also takes place. This is the position. See that already we discussed these things also. Okay. And then implantation causes nutrient enrichment, enlargement of the cell, and formation of the uterine part of the placenta is called as decidua. This is L deciduous falling off. Decidua has three regions: decidua basalis, decidua capsularis, decidua paritalis. These are the three parts is that between embryo and uterine is one of the part. First one is decidia basalis, between embryo and uterine serosan, and decidia capsularis between embryo and lumen of uterus. Sometimes they may ask the question. These are the, note it down. Agil, Jaswant, Ajay, all of you, please take a notes, simple notes. Okay. Okay. Decidia paritalism, remaining part of the decidia. These are the two important things. This one is the last one. This one not much more important, I think. Okay, these two are very, very important. Capsular is between the embryo and the lumen of the uterus. The basalis is between the embryo and the uterine seras. Okay, these are the two things is very, very important. See here. So uterine wall, this one is called as uterine wall. This is the part, this is called as a placenta, and there is a finger-like projection is also villi. Intravillous space, there is a space is there. Intravillous space is here. This one is called as umbilical cord. This one amniotic sac. Amniotic sac inside there is amniotic fluid is there. And chorion, this is the outermost layer is chorion. The in between there is a amniotic sac as well as the chorionic. There is a space is that the space is called as amnion. Collectively called as the what is the growth of the infant or fetus inside the uterus. Okay. See that? So amniotic fluids, uterus, chorion, umbilical cord, amnion. Okay. These are all already we discussed. Oxygen and nutrients. They supply only for what? Oxygen and nutrients. Okay. So this is a very, very important one. Role of human gonadotrophic chorionic gonadotropin, HCG. The tropoplastic cells secrete human chorionic gonadotropin hormone, which has a property similar to those of LH, luteinizing hormone of the pituitary gland. Gonadotropin means the property is similar to that of the luteinizing hormone. This is also very, very important. How? We will see. It takes over the job of the pituitary LH, luteinizing hormone during the pregnancy. The human gonadotropin hormone maintain the corpus luteum. What is the main functions here? Corpus luteum and stimulate it to secrete progesterone. The progesterone is a very important hormone for the female, isn't it? The female hormone secreted by the human chorionic gonadotropin by which one, pituitary during the time of pregnancy. Okay, this was very, very important one. Very, very important one. So progesterone secreted by corpus luteum. Note it down. This is very, very important. Take a notes. Corpus luteum secrete the or stimulate the progesterone. It is a female hormone. Okay. The progesterone maintain the endometrium. This is very, very important. So progesterone maintain the endometrium of the uterus and causes it to grow throughout the pregnancy and also prevent menstruation. Menstruation prevented by which hormone? So many times they were asked the questions. During the time of pregnancy, the menstruation was controlled by progesterone. Don't forget it. Progesterone. This is very, very important. So the progesterone is also called as pregnancy hormone as it is essential for pregnancy. Note it down. This is my dear friend. Students, progesterone is a pregnancy hormone. During the pregnancy, the menstruation is not possible. So the hormone is called as pregnancy hormone. Okay, it's very, very important. Don't forget it. Which hormone is preventing the menstruation, my dear students?
Progesterone.
Progesterone. Very good. What about Ajay?
Yes, sir.
Say the answer. Say the answer. That's why I'm asking. Progesterone.
So
Isn't it?
progesterone, sir.
Good, good. What about Agil?
Progesterone, sir.
Yeah, good. So don't forget. Okay, this is very, very important questions. Also called as progesterone is also called as which hormone? Pregnancy hormone. Pregnancy hormone. Don't forget. Okay. So embryonic development 4 to 8 weeks. See here that heart beating. This is also very, very important. The first, already so many times Ajay also answered it, isn't it? The first forming organ is heart. 4th week. Heart begins to beat first. Arms but appears. Liver, pancreas, and gallbladder start to form. Spleen appears. These are all our embryo at 4 weeks. Embryo look like a 4th week of the pregnancy of fertilization. Eyes start to form. Leg buds appears. These are all are happen after 4 week. In 5th week, hand appears as a pedals. Blood begins to circulate. Facial features start to develop. Facial features, what does it mean? Skull related one, isn't it? That one. Lungs start to form. These are all are the second stage, I think, week of 5th week. Okay. And 6th week, what will happen? Lungs start to form. Fingers and toes forms. These are the 6th. And the 7th, hair follicles start to form, and elbow and toes are visible. And 8th week, face begin to as a human. These are the changes which occurs each and every week. Every week. Okay. See that. Progesterone also causes increased secretion of mucus in the cervix of the uterus that forms a protective blanket during the pregnancy. This is another point. The progesterone also secrete the mucus of the cervix. What is the main function of uterus that forms a protective blanket during the pregnancy? During the pregnancy means what happened to the child comes out, So that is also very, very important. Detection of HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin in the urine. Note it down, my dear students. Take notes. In the basic of pregnancy, Gravitex test. The pregnancy test is also otherwise called as Gravitex. Gravidex test. Gravitex test. Okay. How it will be identified? Which hormone? Human chorionic gonadotropin urine present in the hormone present in the female urine. That is called as pregnancy test. The pregnancy test is also called as Gravidex test. The hormone is secreted by the placenta as well. Here the hormone is secreted by placenta, also secreted by hormones. Once again, which test is test for pregnancy?
Gravidex.
Gravidex test.
Good, super, super, nice. Okay, go to the next one. Next one is called as gastrulation. So gastrulation is nothing but the morphogenetic movement, the shifting of the blastomeres to form 3 germ layers: ectodome, mesodome, and endodome. Ectodome is outermost, mesodome middle layer, endodome is a innermost layer. What are the characteristics for these layers? We will see one by one. During the gastrulation only, these are the layer comes out. Once again, repeat for you. Gastrulation is nothing but the morphogenetic movement of the blastomeres. Okay, they have 3 layers: ectodome, mesodome, and endodome with the following features. What are the following features we are going to see? See here one by one. Embryo beginning organogenesis. Organogenesis means what about the 3 part is in our body? One is called as nerves, mesoderm's middle part, muscles and bones, and so on. So endoderms is nothing but the glands. These are the changes. Which one is formed as a which parts? Mesoderms, what it will be provided. Endoderm is what will be converted. Okay, likewise you have to think. This is the embryo, isn't it? These are the organogenesis also text. It is otherwise called as what is that? Gastrulation. Note it down. Gastrulations. Here, each one ectoderm, what will be the function? How it will be developed? Mesoderm, which part developed? Endoderms, how it will be developed in some, what are the parts they developed into human body? See here, one by one. Organogenesis, ectoderm, outermost layer. This is considered as what is that? Egg cell, isn't it? Ectoderm is outermost. Mesoderm, middle part. Endoderm, inner part. Okay. So the endoderm layer, lungs cells, thyroid cells, digestive cells also secreted by the endoderm, inner part. These are all our inner part. Mesoderm, middle layer, already told you. Cardiac muscles, skeletal muscles, tubule cells, and red blood cells, and smooth cells. These are all our middle layer formation. Ectoderm, external layer, is nothing but the skin. Already know about the skin, neuron on brain, pigments. Pigments means melatonin. Melatonin is nothing but your skin color decided by melatonin, melanin. Okay, these are all things. What are the functions? Depends upon the organogenesis. What are the next one? See, ectoderms. See, these are the things already we discussed in the diagrammatical oriented. They have been differentiated. They have given in the functional aspect. Ectoderm is epidermis, cutaneous, glands, hair, nails. These are all ectoderm. Mesoderm means derm is middle. Endoderm is inner line, the mucous lining of the entire alimentary canal from the pharynx to the hindgut. Ectoderm, nerve system, brain, spinal cord, nerves, neuroglia. Okay, and except microglia cells. These are all ectoderm. Mesoderm, muscles, skeletal, smooth, cardiac, except iris and ciliary muscles. These are the mesoderms. Endoderm, tongues, glands of the stomach, and also intestine. Likewise, they have given. See here, stomadeum, buccal cavity, protactum, rectum, lateral line senses, organs, nasal epithelium, posterior, anterior, and mediate lobes of the pituitary glands, pineal glands. Okay, medulla. So that things also. Okay, so this is another part. And then here mesoderms, muscles, skeletals. Okay, this also very, very important. Okay. Another one is the connective tissues, endoskeleton, vascular system, and kidney, urinary and genetical ducts, gonads, coelomatic, epithelium, adrenal cortex, spleen. These are all comes under the headings known as mesoderms. Endoderms, in our inner part, liver and pancreas, urinary bladder, urethra, promotional germ cells, anterior lobe of the pituitary glands. These are all ectoderms. Sometimes they may ask the questions. The which one you know? The nasal epithelium is ectoderms. Which part is comes under the heading ectoderm, endoderm, or mesoderm? Like that, they may ask the question. So you should clear in this category. Okay, so go to the next one. See that an enamel of the teeth, eye, conjunctive iris, and ciliary muscles, retina, lens, cornea, internal layer, and external layer. These are all the same category. Tendine of the teeth, choroid and scleroid coat of the eye, notochord, microglia cells, heart, blood vessels, all those things. Thyroid gland, here also glands, endocrines, and endometrium. Thyroid glands, parathyroid, thymus glands, lining of the middle ear. These are all lungs, trachea, branchiae, and gills. Okay, so this is a very, very important. And then formation of germs layers. So this is another part. So formation of germs layers, the cell of the inner cell mass differentiated into two layers, cuboidal cells, otherwise called as hypoplast layer. The layer of the high columnar cells and also epiplast layer. Hypo means below, epi means outermost layer. Both the hypoplast and the epiplast form a flat disc called embryonic disc. The embryonic disc is also formed from which type of cells? Cuboidal cells, otherwise called as hypoplast cells. These are the two layers of germ layers. Germ layers consist of how many layers? They may ask the question. Two layers. What are the layers? Cuboidal cells or hypoplast layer. Higher columnar cells, epiplast layer. Epiplast layer is made up of high columnar cells, and hypoplast cell is made up of cuboidal cell. Like that, you have to answer it. They are both are collectively called as embryonic disc. Okay, so that's another one. So this is, see here, umbilical cord with its vessels. Umbilical cord. Placenta villi. These are the placenta villi. This is the endometrium layer, isn't it? This is the endometrium. To absorb the nutrition from the endometrium. Okay. Cavity of the uterus. This is the cavity. Yolk sac. This is called as yolk sac. Egg. Embryo. The center there is a curve-like structure is called as embryo. It connected with the umbilical cord. This is called as mucus of the cervix. This is the part, mucus of the cervix. So the same things is also okay. Plug of the mucus in cervix already we discussed, isn't it? Okay. At the same time, small cavity appears between the epiplast and the tropoplast. This cavity enlarged become the amniotic cavity. Already we discussed it. Okay, amniotic cavity in between the epiplast and the tropoplast. There is two layers there, outermost layer as well as the innermost layer. In between there is a space is there. That space is called as, what is that? Amniotic cavity. The gastrulation begins with the formation of the primitive streak on the surface of the epiplast. The first cell of move inward displays the hypoplast to create the endoderm. Once definite endoderm is established, inwardly moving epiplast forms mesoderm. These are all happen inside only. Okay, the cells remaining in the epiplast then the form ectoderm. Thus, the epiplast is the source of all the germ layer in the embryo. Germ layer is three. Okay, two. Outermost number epiplast and hypoplast. How it will be? There is a in between epiplast and hypoplast. There is a meso layer is also present in it. Okay, that has given here. Already saw in the structures. Next heading is very, very important. Organogenesis. You know about each and every organs, how it will be formed. Now what happened, fertilization takes place, isn't it? After the fertilization, what happened? Blastula and also gastrulation also takes place. There are two layers, the villi, endometrium, implantations, all those things are done. After that, how the embryo grow into organs, how it will produce the organs, that things we are going to see. So organogenesis, a different part of the body are formed by the further continuations of differentiation. What is by differentiation? Cell differentiations. Each and every cell, for example, brain cells, it is not similar to that of the kidney. The kidney cell is not similar to that of the liver. Likewise, how it will be differentiated, but they are all formed from the single fetus, single embryo only, Okay, single embryo develop into different organs. How it will be means with the one of the specialized cell structure, cell division is called as differentiation. Already studied in the where stem cell, in where, in the plant. Okay. And also morphological changes occurs. That time differentiation, cell differentiation, re-differentiation, de-differentiation. That things also already studied. Okay. Otherwise, we will study later. Okay. So likewise, each and every cell is modified into different organ. That condition is called as differentiation. Okay. We will see that. Localized group of cells are stored out in an orderly manner with a unique precision. After gastrulation, the first phase is neuralization, during which neural plate is formed. By the involvement of the perceptive neural ectoderm cells. First, what happened? Nerve cell formation takes place. Okay, see here. By the interaction of these increasing cells, the foundation of organogenesis is laid. This process is called as induction. Such cell which induce the differentiation of the organ forming cells are called as organizer or inducer. Which one is inducer? First organ that cells are called as what is that? Organizers. Otherwise called as inducer cells. The organizer concept was introduced by the Spearman. Note it down. This is very, very important. Okay. In 1869 to 1941, and got Nobel Prize 1935. This is very, very important. The organizer is nothing but the first cell formation, which for cell or inducer. Okay. That concept was first introduced by or stated by the name of the scientist called as Spearman, Spemann. Yeah, and got Nobel Prize which year? 1935 for what? The concept of organizer concept. The structure and organ of the adult body gradually take their characteristic shapes and forms. Okay, so this is the see here. So this up to this level we finish it. Okay, we'll pass on to the next one. Before that, we go to the summarizing one. See what are the things already we discussed. So first one is called as blastulation, isn't it? See that what are the things already we discussed? Blastulation, before that gastrulation, isn't it? Morula formation. So morula already we discussed these things. 18 to 16 cells called as morula already we discussed. How many days it will be formed? 4 to 6 days. Corona radiator detached during these periods. And then these are the cell changes. What are the cell changes which occurs within the uterus? So this is also according to the minutes. They may be calculated and also stated the state. And blastulation. Blastulation, what is the main important of blastulation? Secrete the nutrition of the fluids. And also the morula supply the nutrients. How it will be? Peripheral cells and inner cells. There are two types of cells have been reported. That things also. After that, what happened? The peripheral cells form the trophoblast or tropoectoderms. Okay. The trophoblast cells secrete the fluid is called as blastocells. Okay. There is a cavity. The cavity filled with the fluid is called as blastocells. Already we discussed these things also. This is very, very important. The outermost is called as trophoblast. Innermost blastocavity. The cavity is filled with the blastocell. The opposite side, which one is the inner cell? The inner cell is called as what is that? Animal pole. Okay. Otherwise called as embryoplast, embryonical axis. Okay. And also it is connected with the endometrium. There is a small disc-like structure. This portion only attached to the endometrium. This portion. Okay. That is embryonical disc. Okay, that things. So already in our blastocyst. Okay, that things also. Already we saw it, these things also. How many stages also there? Okay, blastocell significance because the presence of yolk, then only the dimensions also increases, as well as the blastodermic vesicles. That things also called as blastocyst. How it will be implanted. Okay, that things also already we discussed. Okay, how it will be changes. What are the changes which occur within the endometrium? That things also already we discussed. Here, how which one is a divided into two types, two twins. That is blastocyst gets broken into two parts, which then gives rise to two identical twins or monozygotic twins. They may ask the question: the monozygotic twins also divided by the which one of the following cells? Blastocyst, submitted trophoblast. Like that, they may confused. You have to answer it correctly. Blastocyst. Okay, zona pellucida is a very important for the adhesion of the and then zona pellucida. Okay, So it will not allow the implantation of the opposite side, abnormal side. This is very, very important, main role. And embryonical knob is also called as robber. Okay. So this is also a trophoblast cells. And embryonical knob and animal pole, already we discussed. Embryonical disc also. Periclinically, the layer is also divided. Okay, there are two layers have been identified. One is called as outer multinucleated zone, that is called as syncytiotropoblast or syncytium. The inner layer is called as mononucleated, that is called as what is that? Cytotrophoblast. These two are very, very important for the, these are the components, chorionic amnion and also fetal part of the placenta. And then, so these are the stages of the development of the fetus from the single cell into fertilized egg to the adult. That things also already we discussed. Implantation already discussed. How many days, how many weeks it will take. Okay, where it attachment on the, after that what happened? The finger-like projection is also outgrowth called as villi. What is the main functions of villi? Villi help to in the attachment to the uterine endometrium and absorption of the nutrition. There is a gap between the uterus as well as the egg, but these two are united by the villi. There is a bridge between the, which one you know, uterine endometrium as well as the egg. Okay, another one. So this is already we discussed. Okay, that things also in implantation process, catching, adhere on the surface, opposition, adhesion. Okay, it's also produced invasion. These are the process: catching, opposition, adhesion, and invasion. This is the stage of, these are the process of implantations. This is very, very important. Okay, sometimes they may ask the question. So implantation process, which one is first one? Catching, oppositions, and adhesions, and also invasions. Okay, this is very, very important. So already we discussed these things also, started from here and also reaches the fertilization takes in the fallopian tubes and enter, and also here what happened now, which date, day 8 to 9 implanted, zona pellucida. This is called a zona pellucida. Got it down. See the blastocyst, inner cell of the most day of morula. This is called as 4th day. Morula. This is called as blastocyst, 16 cell state. Then enter into the endometrium. These things also already discussed. Implantation. This is the correct exact position of that. This is the animal disc, embryonical, animal pole, endometrium started. Okay, implanted. So the connection between these two, there is a villi projection is also takes place in this area only. Okay, so okay. So this is already we discussed these things also. And these are the very, very important. The placenta called decidua. The placenta called decidua. What are the three parts? Is the say decidua basalis, decidua capsularis, the decidua B basilaris, isn't it? Embryo between the uterine serrans. Embryo, uterine serrans, basalis. Capsularis, embryo and uterus. Embryo and uterus. Okay, so this one is remain part of the decidua. That also already things. This already discussed these things also. And then see that these are all are already we discussed, isn't it? Okay, very important hormone. Which one is the role of human gonadotropic, chorionic gonadotropic hormone? This is very, very important one. Okay, secreted by pituitary gland and luteinizing hormone. So during the pregnancy, what happened? You know, they maintain the corpus luteum and stimulate the progesterone. Note it down. This is very, very important. Corpus luteum secrete the progesterone. It's nothing but the female hormone. Okay, and also this one, progenitor hormone is progesterone. Prevention of the menstruation. Note it down. This is also already we discussed, isn't it? These are all are very important. Must come this question in this. Okay, in this 2023 and 24. Note it down. Okay. So, okay, what are the stages? Okay, how it will be developed. Okay, so this is very, very important. The test name is called as Gravidex test. Pregnancy test is also called as which hormone? Human chorionic gonadotropin. Note it down. HGC, H hormones. Okay, test what is that? Gastrulation, ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm, isn't it? That things also already we discussed. So ectoderm is outermost, mesoderm middle, endoderm is a inner part, glands as well as that things also. Okay. Okay, organogenesis, that is collectively called as organogenesis. What are the ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm properties? What are the main functions of that things also already we discussed? Okay. A formation of germ layers. There are two types of germ layers also. It's made up of what type of cells? Hyperplastic layer, it's a cuboidal cell. Epiplastic cell, higher columnar cells. Okay. That is also already we discussed. Okay. So today that's all about, my dear students. We will see remaining on the next class. If you have any doubt, please ask now. If you have any doubt, my dear students?
No doubt,
Ajay?
sir.
Okay, Gana. What about Akhil? What about Ajay?
Not done, sir.
Okay. What about
No
Ajay?
doubt, sir. No doubt.
Okay, okay, Gana. Okay. We will finish it now.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
sir.
Gana. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Gana.
you, sir.
Thank you, Gana. Bye. Take care.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.